questions. First of all, last week when there was a 90-minute delay for the busing, there was a comment on the Lakewood Scoop. It said, Board of Education member Yoni Silver sent us the following statement. The superintendent advised the board members tonight after the decision has been made that this was being done to accommodate the surrounding districts and some of our bus companies who have earlier runs with them. I wanted to know, since when is it Lakewood? I mean, I don't know if it was a statement that was actually made, but if this statement was actually made, is it the policy of the district to accommodate other districts before they accommodate the students in Lakewood? And number two, at the last meeting, Mr. Inselbuff asked that the addendum to the transportation contract be posted, and it was. I noticed one of the things that it said in the contract that any time a bus comes later than 5 minutes before school time, there should be a $50 subtraction per day after 10 days retroactive to the first time. Now, what methods does the school board have for finding out when the school bus arrives late? I can tell you that my child's school bus never comes before 9 o'clock. The reason why I know that is because I've given up on taking the school bus. I now transport my children on my own, and I see sometimes I'm sitting in the parking lot and I see when it comes. It's always there around 9:05, 9:06, so it's definitely not there at 8:55. And, you know, I know that the school board does not take complaints over the phone, which may be part of the problem why the school board isn't finding out about these problems, because if someone's upset, the bus comes late, they're going to pick up the phone and call. If they have to pick up the phone and then get a letter in the mail, and then 5 days later they get the letter, they have to put out the complaint and send it back to the district. By then they might not complain. Perhaps if it has to be in writing, maybe if the school board would require the vendors to send in a form at the end of every month, what time did you come in every day, and then you just go through the list and you see if he's coming at 9 o'clock, 9:05, 9:10, you just go through the list, take $50 off a day, and then it probably won't be worth it for them to come later anymore. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, what bus number is this?
Neighbor?
What school your child goes?
Did you see the call there? I did file one complaint in writing stating this, but it's a daily occurrence.
Through the chair, when you file the complaint, did you receive any type of response?
No.
And you filed the complaint which month with the Board of Ed? With the Board of Ed?
I filed it.
Did you speak to the vendor? Did you try to speak to the vendor?
I did a couple of times. I called.
And?
I mean, I stopped. I'm not on the bus anymore in the morning because I just gave up. It wasn't worth it for me. I'm in the morning. I'm somewhat close to the neighborhood, so I just go a bit earlier and bring my kids to school. Safer anyways. I'm happy. But you know, I know that there's some disagreement. What kind of busing the school board should be paying for this busing? But if we are paying for the busing, I think it should be done properly. I think everyone should do that.
Ms. Silva has a response to the 90-minute delay.
Mr. Miller, with regard to my decisions for 90-minute, I don't make those decisions by myself. I am guided by the watch commander, who usually calls me at home at about 4:30 to indicate the conditions, whether or not. He also cannot make the decisions, but he will tell me if he feels that the roads are hazardous. Once that happens, then I have to make a decision along with my transportation director. And by the way, there we are hopefully going to elect a new, choose a new transportation person, and that's when it's done. For example, my heart is in my mouth right now because supposedly Thursday night there's going to be 4 to 9 inches of snow. Again, on Friday morning, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, a decision has to be made. It's based on whether or not we can get the buses out. It's based on whether or not the schools are plowed appropriately, and whether or not the police chief tells us that the roads are safe for the kids to stand on corners. So it's a hard decision. No superintendent. I would like to live in Florida on days like this, but it's coming up again.
I was just commenting on the statement.
It's 4 minutes
consideration of other districts.
Through the chair. I think that the statement that he's referring to by Mr. Silva occurred not this week, but last week, when the snow was on Tuesday night and it was a Thursday morning 90-minute delay, which I think was only just a little surrounding township.
And I think he's addressing that email which he sent to the board, that the reason why there was an unused delay to accommodate the other districts, which was 2 days after the storm. I think that's what he was referring to.
Well, I wish we had discussed this in closed session, but I would not do it based on one single thing.
Through the, okay.
The board apparently knows about
Remind my fellow board members, as I stated when we had our very first person that comes up, that you may have opened up a can of worms. So now that you've opened it up,
She didn't speak longer than 4 minutes.
I'm
Let her,
not-
looking at the clock.
I'm not-
Clock right here,
I'm
we're
not-
following the clock, and she has no business saying that the other ones had more than 4
Well,
minutes.
she's-
Excuse
not
me,
following
she
the clock.
has a name.
Through the chair,
It's a she.
all in order, all in favor.
if you want to address her, you know,
All in
all I'm
order.
going to say is that, you know, if we wanted to do that, then we should have stayed the course. So now
We stayed the course. We did stay the course, Mr. President. We did stay the course. We're looking at the clock.
You can't choose which parts of the rule you want to abide by. You choose whether you're going to
That's
abide by
fine. We
the
abide by the
or if
rules.
you're going to
The
go back and
rules are
forth and answer questions. The rule is not to answer questions until they're all answered, but until they're all asked. But you choose to do that, and so for that, you get other
Through the
things.
chair,
So
Mr.
handle that.
President, Mr. President, every single meeting you are advocating people to speak as long as they want and to have a back and forth exchange.
Who?
Suddenly tonight, when there was a difference in the audience, you were advocating the exact opposite. Somehow now it changed again. You need to be consistent, and your pattern is extremely obvious.
What is the matter?
I would ask that the Board of Education of Lakewood please continue their meeting.
Well,
Now,
I will continue when I address the issue. I just want it to be clearly understood, Mr. Silver, that when the first person came up, the last meeting we had, I attempted for us to have the back and forth. I think that's the best way to communicate with our public so that we are decent, honest, and we hear them and we're responsive to them. But this board has stated clearly that they did not want, nor have we rewritten a policy to allow us to do so. So since we haven't, I attempted to enforce it, at which time several people chose to answer back and to respond accordingly. So that's where we are now.
Correct.
So you can't choose which part of it.
Correct. Mrs.
So
Thomas, it
time
was
may be
all-
one issue, but it's the way we answer it is also another.
It was
So
all-
don't come at me, you know, with all this.
It was all within the 4 minutes, which we allow by almost every single meeting with 80% of the comments.
I'm-
This particular comment,
Yes.
this particular person, which I'm sorry, through the chair,
But Mr. Silver,
Roxanne Martin.
listen,
Mrs. Martin
we're gonna move on.
went
but
way beyond the
I'm
4
not
minutes.
even saying, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is you can't choose which part of a rule applies. The time is just as important as the way we answer the questions. So you set yourself up, and now you gotta deal with it. Next person, please.
Through the chair. Through the chair.
Recognition of the, yeah.
This is one reason why I advocate do away with all busing. God gave us feet, walk to school.
Oh, next. Recognition of the public, please. Next person.
James Waters. Providers of busing here, who are here. To be candid, I'm also sick of hearing promises that allegedly are made and not met. They're here. Why wouldn't you meet with them? Yeah, why? What is, are you a bus company?
No, actually not. I just got a question. I just have to come in late from work because I work for the state. I just have a question for you all regarding Saturday school for the high school. I don't know if you all know about it because it's not in your agenda list.
It's out of
My
order.
question would be like, why isn't it? Because isn't that a budget? Like if you guys are going to spend money, shouldn't that be on this 11-page or 12-page envelope here? So that way people can talk about it?
There's a motion and a second. There's a motion and a second. Call it, please.
Faith?
I'm sorry?
We're voting on the motion.
No.
Mrs. Gonzalez? No. Mrs. Mikio? Yes. Mr. Ostreicher? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Seitler?
No.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mr. Slatkin?
Yes.
Motion failed. I'm sorry. Motion passes.
Motion passes. We'll be in closed session to meet with the vendors, and the vendors will please meet. We will be out again. She's saying it passed, so I'll ask her. Let her count. Let her count. I must count her.
3, 4.
4.
Give her a second. Yeah. We only have 8 here tonight. We have a tie, motion fails.
Sorry.
Okay. Through the chair. Through the chair.
Yeah.
There are 2 addendum. One was the superintendent's item, miscellaneous, Roman numeral I, K1, rejection of settlement offer dated December 23rd for employee 4592, which I, as your attorney, say is legal. That is your opinion to decide to vote for it or not. The second motion and there's another motion pursuant to the settlement agreement with employee 5049. He will return to work on Monday and will be reassigned to the high school in accordance with the terms of the settlement. Those are the 2 issues that I've discussed with the superintendent and the board. I've sent you the letters. So those are the 2 addendum that I tell you, and I've discussed and sent you the letters previously.
Weren't there other addendums that we discussed? Did you send this?
I'm looking through them. There are addendum presented by Mr. If we're talking about the addendum, which my legal ruling is they have a right to be made, if we're talking about the 33 addendum, 33, if that's what we're talking about, if I could ask as a matter of, just to get this down, so Ms. Miller, who is doing the job of several, until we find a permanent VA, if we could first, with your permission, just vote on those 2 addenda, since there are certain timelines dealing with litigation. If we can have a motion, a second on those 2.
Through the chair, there were other addendums that we discussed in terms of appointments and things like that in closed session?
Yes, we're going to get to those shortly, sir. I just want to do these 2 first real quick.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to accept these 2?
The 2 addendums or the...
The 2 addendum.
The 2 addendum.
As well as the 33. No, we're not. The 2 addendum I just read, which involve litigation matters.
I make a motion to move them both.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call discussion? Seeing none. Roll call?
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Mikio?
Yes.
Mr. Ostriker?
Yes.
Mr. Seitler?
Yeah.
Mr. Silver?
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Slacken?
Yes.
I'd like the public, with the board permission, board president and board's permission. There is a motion. We did meet as a credit to the superintendent and her staff. There was an extensive search for the position of transportation manager. There were several candidates interviewed by Ms. Silva and her staff, and the board did meet in closed session with those people, at least the 2 final candidates. We do have here tonight Gus Kakakakis. I say that wrong, I'm sure. That was good? Okay. Gus Kakakakis, his resume will be posted on the website tomorrow. Mr. Kakakakis has 30 years of experience in transportation. Mr. Kakakakis formerly ran the Toms River Schools transportation department. The board did interview him with another candidate, and what I was told to write is as follows. To hire Gus Kakakakis LLC as transportation manager to replace Bill Coyle commencing February 1st, 2011 at a per annum rate of $95,000, prorated, no benefits, as he will be a consultant as he is retired. through June 2011, and no less than 40 hours per week. It will be an at-will consulting contract. Notice will be a 10-day provision. It's pending approval by the county office. But Mr. Kukakis is here. With the board's permission, if I could ask him to come to the microphone and just give the benefit to the public of his vast transportation experience and how he will bring change to the transportation situation of Lakewood. So please.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the time that the board has given me, and I appreciate the confidence you put in me. As stated, I was with Toms River School since the late 70s. I was the transportation director there. As you know, Toms River is a large district, has a bus fleet of its own, does contract out about 20% of its runs, and Lakewood presents some unique challenges, which I'm aware of. I have listened tonight to your complaints. I realize that these complaints are not just being said lightly, they affect your children. And I have always approached my job as a transportation director, manager, that I would treat every child as if they were my own. I would never put a child on a bus that I wouldn't want my own children on. I am a father of 2 daughters. I have 5 granddaughters who some of them attend school now, some of them will shortly. So I take this job very seriously. And I am looking forward to addressing the problems that were here tonight, that have been on the table for many months, perhaps years, and the challenges of doing what needs to be done in a safe and cost-effective manner is something that I look forward to trying to do to the best of my ability, and I promise you that I will give you everything I have to address your problems.
Welcome. If the board should vote, is there a motion according to what I was told to write?
Yes, I move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion? Seeing none, roll call as to what I just read.
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Micchio?
Yes.
Mr. Ostreicher?
Yes.
Mr. Seitler?
Yes.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes.
Through the chair, I'd like to take,
Through the chair, we forgot to vote on the agenda.
we didn't forget. I'd like to take the opportunity, since some of the vendors are here, you can gladly use the conference room now and speak with Mr. Gus Kakakavas. Okay. Hello.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Feel free to take him up on that offer. Mr. Kakakavas? Mr. Kakakavas, if you need me, call. All right, the next plea, I also failed to mention there's Clara Bus Company here, I see, and others, so feel free. There's someone in charge. There's another motion to hire Robert A. Green Jr. Robert A. Green Jr. as school business administrator commencing February 1st, 2011 at a rate of $140,000 prorated. No, he did not. Prorated per annum through June 30th, 2011. He would be an employee of Lakewood Schools. That was the recommendation of Ms. Silva. Am I wrong?
Move it.
Yes,
So what is the motion? The motion is to...
Regarding the BA.
Well, I'm not...
Appoint Mr. Green as the BA.
Okay, well, we're in the second, so I'm not going to speak about anyone specifically. I'm going to speak about the Office of Business Administrator. I think that we have had a couple of opportunities to do what I would consider to have been the best possible thing for this district, and on multiple occasions, I really feel that we as a board failed. We proved that the last time we made the decision, and I think that we're in the midst of doing something very similar. I think that what Mr. Ostreicher is talking about makes a lot of sense, because we as a board need to be very, very sure that we're making our decision, and once again, not being penny wise and pound foolish. We are very good at doing that, and we end up paying double later, and then we pay all the way down the road. And I'm not
going to speak disparagingly about any one or over the other, but we have to begin to make decisions that are wise in the long run. And, you know, I'm not confident that we are. And I'm not going to be able to, you know, support this motion, but so hopefully if that's what you guys want to do.
Through the chair, when you said we did something in the past, were you referring to the guidance counselor? Were you referring to the assistant superintendent that didn't work out? Or
I love the blissful ignorance of which you operate with. It's quite,
Order, please.
Quite an astounding, you know, characteristic of yours that I love to, you know, see on a regular basis, and it's in full flight.
You can read about it too, sir.
About it. So, you know, I'm pretty sure I'll get some of these same antics when I read the school later. So keep up the good work.
You meant a derogatory comment before, so I'm just verifying.
I'm just telling the truth.
Go on Facebook.
Just telling the truth.
Through the President, maybe we should go in to discuss this personnel at least one more time?
Through the chair, it's now 10:15. Is there a motion to go inside for 10 minutes?
I did.
There's a motion and a second on the table.
There is a motion.
Well, actually, I must, mea culpa. I wrote down what I was told to write down. But if the superintendent, who is the only person who has authority to make recommendations, wants to discuss that, I'm not here to upset anyone, but I seem to do that well. She must, if she wants to talk to you about the recommendation, I would suggest strongly you heed her advice. For no more than 10 minutes, we'll call that the Lenny Thomas rule. 5 minutes, I thought.
We can meet in my office. We'll stand.
Motion and a second on the floor.
Well, not if she is saying that she wants her recommendation at this point to be withdrawn pending further discussion, which is what I believe, well, I don't have a mic over there.
Say,
Are we having this discussion now publicly?
no, just make the motion publicly, and then we'll go into your office.
I would humbly ask the board to go into closed session so we can discuss the personnel issue that was raised just now.
That wasn't the question. The question is, are you withdrawing your recommendation?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Well, now that there's no recommendation and the chief operating officer has to make it, I therefore suggest, since we do need a BA, we do have our interim BA till February or so, we have very qualified candidates here, could we go into closed session so for no more than 10 minutes so we could discuss this issue?
Could we first vote on the other issues?
Okay.
What other issues are those?
Well,
I have 36 of them by now.
Well, let us do.
We have an agenda too.
Let us do the agenda, please. The agenda, the original agenda, the agenda.
All right, let's do the agenda.
Is there a motion as to the agenda which the public has?
I make a motion to move it.
There's
second.
There's a motion and second. Can I just touch this for 1 second? To approve the 12-page agenda. It's now in discussion.
I think we should table on page 11, item 4,
Four.
total Missouri, 111,780.
Yes. Agreed.
Page 11 is item, well, wait a minute.
I agree.
Hold it. Hold it. There is a motion and a second to approve the agenda, as is.
Well, since I made the motion, my motion is,
Now, he didn't say that.
Well, I'm
and
saying
while
it now.
I might agree with you, I don't want anyone to later say you did not comply with.
we don't have to go through this. I just want to go ahead. I'm going to amend it. My motion is to move the agenda with the exception of page 11, number 4, Torah.
Well, actually, it's number 3 on my agenda.
You have the wrong agenda.
$111,000, 780.
Page 11, number 4, table the 111,780.
Yes.
Torah Missouri.
Yes. Yes, sir.
The reason it says number 3 and number 4, the discrepancy is because there's a typo on 1, 2, and 2. Number 2 is typed twice.
Thank
But in reality, the number 3 should be number 4.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification. Is there a motion and a second as to the agenda, save number 4 on page 11, Toro Masura, 111,780? Is there a motion?
I made, yes, I made.
Second.
It's in the second.
Is there now discussion?
Yes, I think we should.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think we should table the discrepancies on page 4.
Page 4.
STUVW.
Right.
I agree.
Wait a minute, guys, please take my legal advice.
S through W.
You have the right to vote no. Then we've done this many a time. Then it will not pass. But he can't have to keep on making motions and seconding and then say, no, let's do it differently. You have the absolute right to vote no.
Yes, but we have the Ostracker rule that the person who made the motion can't vote no. So now we're going to have a problem that Lenny Thomas can't vote no because of the Ostracker rule.
Well, there's a motion and a second.
So it's in the discussion phase, correct?
Yes.
While in the discussion phase, my fellow board members, is there anything else on the agenda that you would like to be excluded from the motion that I've made? Because I will gladly include it and exclude it accordingly so that we can move this agenda and move on to the next issue. So you would like me to exclude T, U, V, W, and
S.
S through X.
No, S through W.
Well, I would like to amend my motion to add the exclusion of S through W.
Well, that would be improper English, but it would be to exclude S through W.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're an English major.
Well, no, but my friends in the audience. S through W. Are there any other items?
I know you want to keep talking.
No. At this time,
but the school system's not meeting.
so at this point, if everybody's in agreement, can we call it, please?
Okay, then just so we're clear, it's tabling page 4, S through W, page 12, item number 4.
Are you tabling it or are you rejecting it, Mr. President?
Rejecting it, I guess. I don't want to guess though. Is it a rejection?
Rejection or is it just a table?
S through W.
That's a rejection or?
That's what I'm not approving.
So therefore,
you're not moving on it, or
not moving on it at all.
Therefore, it is not to approve those items and
table the other.
And table the other item on page 12 or 11, depending on your version. Okay, we have the motion.
So if somebody wants to vote yes on either of these two.
You say no to this motion.
If you want to vote yes.
You can't vote as table. It's gone, it's gone. You can't vote on it. So now
Let's go through the roll call, and if there's specific questions at that time, we'll respond to them.
Call it.
Mr. Fink?
I'm voting with Lenny.
That's yes.
Yes, next.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Ms. Micchio? Yes. Mr. Ostraker?
I'll vote no. I want to include number 4, page 11, and I want to table the S through W rather than reject it.
Next.
Mr. Seidler?
Yes.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes.
Okay, I want to just make sure that the board agrees. We've covered the agenda as modified. We covered the transportation director. We have to go into closed session should you so desire.
I have a couple motions.
And there are several motions or possible motions which would need a motion and a second.
Can I make a motion? Do I have to read all of them?
I would suggest you go one by one.
Okay.
May I just ask you, the President, that we take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Richard Foston, who will be the Assistant Principal at the middle school. Mr. Richard.
Thank you for having the faith in me to do the job at the middle school, and I'm expecting to have some real good things happen there, and I'm looking forward to speaking to every one of you, and thank you for having the faith in me to do it.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Can we have a motion?
Yeah, okay, can I make a motion? Can I do them what's
Well, I made a motion before that to go into private session to discuss the personnel.
Second.
It's in the second.
There's a motion and second to go into closed session to discuss the important BA position.
Yes.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Fink? Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Ms. Micchio? Yes. Mr. Ostraker?
Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes. Motion passes. We'll be out shortly. We will be meeting in the superintendent's office. Further action will be taken this evening. Please stand by. I was meeting with the superintendent. Our new transportation director and I had the opportunity to meet with the bus companies who we've been meeting with an ongoing situation. The Board of Education members are very concerned. The Board of Education members are very concerned and will not tolerate any longer the transportation situation that allegedly is occurring. I have conversed with Mr. Gus Kakakovis and the bus companies, and this is what was discussed in part in closed session. Within 6 weeks, that is calendar days, 6 weeks from today, all bus companies have agreed to provide cameras on 10% of their buses, cameras that will have digital and audio. There will be 2 cameras inside the buses. There will be color. They will go on and off as the bus is ignited, or not ignited, or as the ignition is turned on. There will be the capacity for the taping to exist for 30 days. There will be GPS on this camera system that will enable us, when parents or guardians complain, or school people, that we will be able to, via email, check out the route and the time. There will be a lockbox included, and in addition to that, any areas which the superintendent or her designee requests that additional cameras be placed, those will be based on a concern as to either safety or accountability. They will be placed within 15 days of request. There is no charge to the Board of Education or the taxpayer for any of this, but this will be the beginning of a safer and more accountable situation. I do want to give credit to the board, who has authorized me for many meetings to meet with the transportation companies, and I'm sorry to disturb the mini powwow at the end, but...
You're not disturbing it, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kakakovis, am I saying, is this your recommendation? Is this your recommendation?
Yes.
As far as live video, what is your opinion on that, sir?
Live video is very troublesome, and in order to get the right system, it's extraordinarily expensive. The disc system that you're looking to do is very reliable, and it will accomplish the majority of things that we need to accomplish with putting the video systems in.
And just so we're clear, this does not prevent the board from going out to a new bid process for transportation starting July 1st. It does not prevent the board from asking for live cameras next year. It does not prevent the board from doing anything. Can I have a roll call from the board that this is acceptable?
Move.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Motion by Ostreicher, second by Silver. Discussion.
Yeah, did you mention that, how come my mic is not on? Did you mention that the buses that will be chosen to have the videos will be chosen by our new transportation?
Yes, our transportation director, in consultation with the superintendent, will select those 10% from each company. Now that we have that clarification, thank you, Mr. Seidler. Can we have a call, please, Ms. Miller?
Mr. Fink? Yes. Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Ms. Micchio? Yes. Mr. Ostreicher?
Yes.
Mr. Seidler?
Yeah.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
I'd be lying if I told you that I knew what we were voting on.
This is the cameras we discussed in closed session.
Sorry, but I would be lying. Yes. Sorry. Really serious.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes.
All right, now we have the bus companies here. Durham Bus Company, you heard what was read into public, is that correct?
Correct.
And you have the authority to bind your company to do this?
Correct.
And you are whom?
Daniel Jash, Vice President of Operations.
Thank you. Is J Bus Company, what is your name, sir?
Joseph Valentin.
And you have the authority to bind the bus company? And these terms are acceptable. Your name, sir? Shimon Bolzan. You are what bus company? Zecher Yochanan. You heard the terms here?
Yes.
And you have the authority to bind the company? And you are so binding them. Okay? Bus company? No. Bus company. Where did our friend Clark? Mr. Negba, you're here.
Yes.
Aaron Rottenberg, did you hear the terms of what was read into the record tonight?
Yes.
And do you voluntarily accept them and have the power to bind Negba?
Yes.
Okay. Who else? What other bus companies? Where's my friend from Clark? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Burstein, what school? Bus company, I'm sorry. Okay, Darius Nussin, you've heard the terms?
Yes.
You are willing, voluntarily accepting them?
Yes.
And you have the authority to bind your company. Yes. I know Mrs. Clark is here.
What about Murphy, STA?
That is, Murphy is Durham, which is him, Dan. STA is not here, but I believe we have spoken with them today, and we will have our, till our transportation man comes on board. Dan, if you would ask Mr. STA, who was at our meeting today, if he could just send us something saying he agrees to what we said here. I know I saw Mrs. Clark. They left. Daniel handled Clark too for me. Thank you.
I believe she indicated that she would be okay with it, right?
Yes. All right. We'll need a portion just of this part by tonight when you go home, just this little part, so I can get it to Mr. Murphy, so he can get it to the other two, or Mr. Dan. That concludes. Are there any other bus companies in the audience? Mr. Durham, you did have a meeting with all the vendors while I was away, but we spoke via phone, correct? And these terms, as you understand, they will be acceptable.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, the public should be perhaps giving a round of applause to the board of the companies. We are doing something for safety. All right, thank you. You may not, you don't have to stay here any longer.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to vote on the initiative of some of the board members, the addendum that we have here, the 33 addendums.
Hold on, aren't we in the middle of a motion on the BA? We're still in the middle of a motion of the BA.
Oh, okay. Finish the BA. Finish
Okay, Mr. Silver has withdrawn the BA. It is my understanding, I was out here, but it's my understanding that you were in Ms. Silva's office discussing the BA situation.
We were in the conference room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Steidler. Is there a recommendation of the superintendent?
Yes, there is.
And would you be so proud to tell us that?
I am urging the board to elect Mr. Robert Green to the position of business administrator.
So that would be in the terms to hire Robert Green Jr. as school business administrator commencing February 1st, 2011 at a rate of $140,000 prorated through June 30th, 2011, pending county approval. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Seidler moves, and second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Silver, discussion?
Roll call.
Second? Yes, roll call?
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yeah. Ms. Micchio?
Yes.
Mr. Ostriker?
Yes.
Mr. Seidler?
Yes.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
No.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Congratulations, Mr. Green. If you'd like to come up to the microphone and just say a few words, and we will have your resume on the website tomorrow, Lisa, as well as our friend Gus Kakavaka.
Good evening. My name is Robert Green, and you probably wouldn't believe this when I tell you this, but I have actually enjoyed being here at tonight's meeting.
That's good. That's very good.
Do you enjoy it more than Seinfeld?
And it's not because I was sitting on that side of the table.
How does it rate against Seinfeld?
Actually, there could be some, well, okay.
We welcome you, we thank you, and welcome on February 1st, sir.
Thank you.
Let's have a hand. There is a series of motions.
Can I just finish up something on the agenda because it was tabled?
Okay, there's a motion.
I think, Jan, they have the floor because we pulled their motion back to finish the one we had, so you can go after.
All right, it is my legal opinion that any motion can be made, so we're going to take these one by one. There are some on this one that I have that have X's and blanks, so I would like to take it one by one.
Let's take them one by one, but I think that the first three should go in a group. You want to start them off?
Go ahead, read your motion if it's your motion.
It's all three of us, but I'll read them all.
Of course.
A motion to terminate effective February 1st. You can cross out the 40. It'll be 15 contracts with negative bus service. The contracts removed must be all from the 9 a.m. arrival runs. The exact routes that will be terminated with negative will be determined by the new transportation director. 2, a motion.
Can I ask you just to make that February 3rd because our new guy's not starting?
Fine, we'll make it
1st.
February 5th for you.
Thank you.
A motion to execute emergency bids for the 15 routes currently held by negative that are being revoked. A motion to charge a performance bond of negative bus corp for any loss occurred to the district, whether directly or indirectly, due to the emergency bids.
So those are your first 3 motions? Second. Those are your first 3 motions. And you're seconded. Just for clarity, and I'm sorry, just for clarity, these 15 routes, are they for a specific school, or what are they?
You would leave it up to the transportation department to pick the most troublesome routes and use those as the ones that they should terminate.
Oh, I'm just trying to, so you want to terminate 15 routes that the transportation director and/or superintendent finds problematic?
It is the opinion of the board that they have too many routes that they can handle, so we will leave it up to the transportation department to pinpoint which are the most troublesome routes and the ones with the most delays, and those should be the ones, obviously, that are terminated.
So there has to be, are you saying there has to, and I'm not just making sure, there has to be a basis that there is either lateness or delay or something, right?
Well, we could start with the 25 emails that we could print out from today.
But is that what you're saying, ones that have a
The most troublesome, the ones that have the most BB3, BB4, there are certain routes that are, for some reason, the most troublesome. We should start with those, and I'm sure Patty is able to pinpoint it.
All right.
Through the chair.
Is it in the second?
It is in the second, and discussion.
Yeah, I'm gonna just, go ahead. You want to discuss it?
No, I just want to ask, why is the arbitrary number 15? Previously, the arbitrary number was 40. Why don't we take 76 or 29? I mean, where did we come up with 40 and where did we come up with 15? I'm just curious to know. Is it like 39 lashes or exactly how? What are we determining those numbers by?
It's the deep mysteries of Kabbalah.
Okay.
Okay, those are the votes with deep mysteries should vote along with you.
Now, Abe, I just want to say, this entire list of items, I'm going to speak to them all, even though it's in a second for those 3. I would prefer, because some of them I completely and totally get. I don't even know the full legality on some of them. I would really prefer that the board attorney look at them all. Yeah. Before we just arbitrarily start instituting addendums and stuff, and some of it looks like contractual law, some of it looks like I don't know what, and I'm not voting yes on any of it. And I don't even want to discuss it because it looks like I don't know if we as a board want to just do such a thing. But, I mean, I'm sure you investigated quite well, but I might be a little dense as well that I don't understand, but I'm just saying, the 33 are pretty.
It's up to 36 again.
Have fun with that. I'm good. That's it. What I need to say. I don't have anything to say.
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
I didn't get an answer on my question.
It was based on the mysteries of Kabbalah.
Just so we're clear, I did say this, that a board member has a right to make a motion. If they are illegal, they cannot be enforced. What I have asked now since several months in public is if there are concerns with any vendor or bus company, there has to be documentation or data substantiating that, not anonymous emails. So as long as there is documentation, which I'm being told there is.
Let's vote on number 3. First 3, call them. Call the first 3. If there's no board member...
Wait a minute. May I make whatever? First of all, I read it on my computer and my email, which is a bit, But anyhow, I'm not a computer-savvy person. I just read what I see. Okay, I got this tonight. Whatever that is. Never mind, I'm referring to it now. Some of it may be very good. Some of the ones that I've looked at. Others really need a discussion. And to be given 33 items as an addendum, we usually have addendum, but 33 items?
36 now. 36.
Oh,
They added 3.
oh, okay, that's even worse.
If we stay here longer.
Oh,
We
yeah.
handed this very busily, and it's 11 o'clock at night already, and I passed my bedtime, but that's okay.
Can we just have discussion? No, this is a discussion.
This is ridiculous, okay? I would like to take this, which, you know, it's not really that bad, but it's ridiculous to bring it here at this hour after we have some very serious agenda items that we have not even looked at. To do this because some young man, I really don't blame him for it, that's his idea.
Ms. Vecchio, can I address
And
this?
he has a right to do that.
Can I just address this? In my first email
No,
about this.
please don't. What I would like to do with this is, what is that? Delay, motion to a delay
Table it?
for the next meeting so we can go over it. We have had not a chance back there fighting over something or other to really discuss what's going on in the school. And I've been here 33 years, and this is the most, no, the worst year that I have put in. Some people recommend I should quit, and maybe they have a good idea, but I'm not ready, okay? But this
I agree.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Vecchio,
has to be discussed.
I agree with you. But we're going to go ahead and call the first 3.
Wait a minute. Why?
Because it's in the second and we can't stop them from calling
Oh,
something.
the first 3 because they've been seconded?
Yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, they, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I agree to the first 3.
Go ahead and call the first call.
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Mikio?
Yes, for the first 3, yes.
Mr. Ostreicher?
No.
Mr. Seitler? Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Emphatically yes on the first 3.
Mr. Slatkin?
Yes.
Next motion is a motion to terminate without pay all teachers that are deemed to be acting inappropriate by the administration. As we saw today on page 11, item K, number 1, employee number 4381, was administrative leave without pay. It obviously has been deemed legal by our attorney.
That's a leak. I need some clarification from the administration.
Whether it's legal or not, right?
Who's 4381, and don't say it publicly. So maybe the administration, hold on. I don't know who 4381 is, so when maybe the administration could tell us before you make legal decisions.
Did you review the agenda?
No, I didn't because I wasn't given this agenda.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well, let me ask you your opinion on this. Do you think this is legal? Number 4.
I don't believe you can terminate without pay all teachers acting inappropriate or deemed by the administration as such.
So then what's K number 1?
I would ask the administration to please give me the name of the employee. Could we come back to that as...
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Ms. Miller, can you go check that?
Okay, a motion to invite Mr. Superman, Mrs. Superman, I don't know, anybody know her name?
Yeah, Michelle Lee.
Michelle Lee.
We need her in this district quickly.
She comes and makes presentations and she helps us.
I second.
She teaches.
No, I'm gonna read off.
Hold up. It's in the second. Do we have any discussion now?
She was the superintendent of Washington, D.C. She did an incredible job, and then the mayor, what?
She did an incredible job with teachers, and she made many districts, hopefully terminate teachers who were doing a poor job. We need her here quickly.
Yeah. She's gone.
She is coming here according to this at no cost to the taxpayer, is that right?
Does she know that?
She's going across the country.
I'm sorry.
A motion to invite Michelle Lee from Washington to make a presentation and recommendation to our district at no cost to the taxpayer.
Who is paying for it?
Not the taxpayer, not any title money. I guess she comes here for free.
Well, we're going to send a letter and ask her.
All right, so it's a letter to invite her. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, can we just go through like 10 at a time?
Well, no, actually, we didn't know who Miss Superman was.
Okay.
Letter to invite. So, there's a motion and a second by Mr. Silver. Any further discussion? Seeing none.
Just all in favor.
Well, I appreciate that, but there are rules here. Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Mrs. Micchio? Mr. Ostreicher?
No. Mrs. Mickey also voted no.
Miss-
Lydia? Yes. No, I didn't recommend that. No.
So, Micchio is no, Ostreicher is no. Mr. Seidler?
Yeah.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
I'm going to be excusing myself very shortly, and I'm going to vote no on every one of the rest of them.
Okay, Mr. Zlatkin?
Yes.
So there are 3 no's, 5 yeses, if I'm correct. That passes.
Okay, now can I just read off the rest of them in one shot so we don't have to sit at 12 o'clock? Okay, so I'm reading off the rest of them. Mrs. Miller, a motion to make a public question on the April ballot as follows. Do you support the non-binding recommendation to cut an additional 10% of the school budget by reducing all services by 10%?
The public should recognize that 2 members are leaving, the board president and the board, Mr. Ostreicher. Hold on. There's still 6 here.
There's no president or vice president.
So the most senior member takes over. That's Mrs. Micchio. A motion to not allow...
1 minute, please.
I'll sit down.
Why would he, Mr. Seiler, you're making him offer here.
That's law. Michael, I don't think it's law. I think the president or the vice president must be in the city.
That is true.
But what about you?
This is almost unbelievable.
Attorney, I pass on the gavel to you.
No. I can't be the gavel.
No, you're the most senior member here.
No, actually, in age, yes, but not, the meeting must be canceled.
I will need to review this. I need 2 minutes to review this matter. I need 2 minutes to review this matter.
Motion. Okay, I'm just going to read all of them so I just get it all done right away.
Number 6, please.
Number 6, a motion to make a public question on the April ballot as follows. Do you support a non-binding recommendation to cut an additional 10% off the school budget by reducing all services by 10%? A motion to not allow any raises for anyone next year. This includes teachers, administration, and anyone else currently on district payroll in any shape or form. Those who are currently in the middle of a contract will be asked to go along with this as was done this past year. A motion in regards to the policy of non-discrimination as it relates to vendors of the district. All vendors shall be created equal no matter race, color, religion, or political affiliation. Each vendor will be audited, tested, reviewed, evaluated, or any other mechanism of random check based on the percentage of the stake they hold in the total workload of the district. If, for example, one company commands 90% of the work and is being audited only on 10% of their share, the other company may only be audited on 10% of their share, not 80%. Anyone, whether directly or indirectly, who is caught or suspected of advocating or executing any type of review, evaluation, or audit contrary to this policy will be terminated immediately without pay and prosecuted to the fullest extent under the law. A A motion to this one we're going to skip because nobody likes it. A motion to rescind retro. Okay, no, I'll say it. Everybody doesn't like it. No. A motion to disallow any 90-minute delayed openings at public schools until at least 4 of our public schools are no longer failing. We cannot afford to allow our children who are terribly behind to be further hindered because of other districts. If the superintendent deems a 90-day delay the safety reason, then it would be acceptable. I'm sorry, 90 minutes, not 90. Yeah, 90 minutes. It said 90 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. A motion to rescind retroactively.
We can't, please, audience, you may not necessarily agree. Mr. Seitler does have the right to read his motion.
A motion to rescind retroactively the vote to award a rental contract to Catapult money for the rent of their trailers. The vote was based on the appraisal. Submitted by Catapult. However, we have later determined that the appraisal. We have later. However, we have later determined
Reflect at 11:10 p.m. We have a quorum still. I think there's 5.
Yeah, a motion to rescind retroactively the vote to award rental contract to Catapult money for the rent of their trailers. The vote was based on the appraisal submitted by Catapult. However, we have later determined that the appraisal should only consider the time used as a class and not as a blanket monthly rent. As such, the contract is declared null and void. A motion to accept the rental appraisal of our appraisal company. I forgot the name, if anybody knows it.
Johnson Realty.
Johnson Realty, and the total amount of, anyone know? To be filled in by the business administrator who just got hired, for both classroom and trailer space rentals. Motion to award effective retroactively from the date of the beginning of service rental contracts to any school who have applied to Catapult and to any other vendor that is giving their rental space, and the amount equal of the percentage of the appraised value that we can afford to give everybody. Everyone will be receiving the same percentage of the value of their appraised value based on the amount of money that is available from Title I and 192 and 193. A motion to adopt the policy. Let's just vote on these so far.
What numbers are those for our record?
Those are numbers 5 through 12.
Can I have a second, please? Well, 5 you did already, by the way.
5? Yeah, okay, so 6 through 12. I made that motion, anyone second?
A motion.
Second.
Motion to raise.
Roll call.
Motion to raise. 10 to rescind. On number 10, just tell me the effective date of that, please. Number 10, the effective date of that?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, there are provisions in the current agreement. You can do whatever you like, but
As to be determined by the attorney.
well, whatever. Well, I have to see the agreement we have now, right?
Okay, so you'll look at it and you'll let us know.
So in accordance with the current agreement termination.
Yeah.
Number 11, I can just tell you, and actually you know this too, sir, the rent appraisal thing is not done. You know that. You know that because we've gotten new schools.
I thought we stopped accepting schools on December 18th.
You would have to speak with the Title I director. Or,
So then get it done, whatever it is, but it's being...
he is working on it, I know that, but I know he's not...
5 months?
Ain't my responsibility.
Okay, well, if it's not done, you have to remove 11.
Whatever's done, but till now. Anybody who's not done yet is out.
Okay, well then you want to say that.
So then I said...
Okay, well, Mr. Seitler, in all due respect, you're saying things, but I want to understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So anyone that Mr. Johnson Appraisal Company has not appraised as of this evening
Yes.
should not be appraised any longer.
Right.
Okay? Can I go back to number 8? In fact, I will represent yesterday while I was not in the country, I had a phone conference with Tree of Knowledge, if that's what this is about, and it was clearly explained to them, and there is a transcript, and they agreed that as long as contract always said that they're only responsible to pay the percentage of their contract. However, if they're only doing a few schools, and you're only going to do 1 or 2 of those schools, our luck will depending on where you stand on this, will find, God forbid, the bad school as opposed to the good school. As far as I'm aware, and there is a transcript to this effect, tree of knowledge, if that's what this is addressing, it was clearly in the contract, which we got back signed, by the way, today, and the addendum as revised today. They were fine with the fact as long as they're only paying the percentage of their contract, which was always there, but you don't want to pigeonhole. If they're only doing 10 schools, I don't know the number, and if you only do whatever percentage, let's say it comes out to 1 or 2, that would be unfair to that vendor, because if you only get 1 or 2 because they have a small percentage, you would want to have a bigger pool of schools looked at. But it has always been in the contract of the addendum, which was signed, and I got back today, that they're only responsible for a percentage based on the overall contract. So I would ask you, unless I'm misunderstanding number 8, to please remove that, provided they don't have to pay more than the percentage.
Okay, so put that in.
Oh,
put into their own pay.
It's in their contract, which they signed. It is. Okay, what other ones are we up to? 14, 12?
Yeah, okay, so can we just do 1233?
Well,
I'll leave them all.
wait, you just...
Let's vote on these.
What number did you do till?
Till 12, yeah.
Tell Mr. Hasselfeld not to call you. Number 12. Motion to award a rental contract for the following schools. Well, we can't do 12. Let me make it clear. Just answer this question, please, because my legal opinion is, and has been for years, and now is surely, that even though the state, and we have letters to this effect, which I've shared with the board, even though the state is taking the position that we cannot pay non-public schools for rent, it is my opinion that we can. You know that. You've seen those letters. You've seen my response. And it's always been that way. My question is, if we only have X dollars in the pot of gold, what happens if the school? What happens? What happens if we don't have enough money to pay?
That's why I said we're going to figure out the entire appraisal, figure out how much money we have, what the percentage is of the entire appraisal, and everybody gets that percentage, so that won't happen.
Okay, but you should know, a school could say possibly, well then I'm not renting that spot.
Right, so that any entity that declines the contract of that amount will be supplied space by the vendor as per RFP agreement.
Okay.
May I make one motion too, just to go along with this, please? Just.
Yeah.
Just to make a motion to increase security at both the middle school. I spoke to Officer Gomez. I would like to throw into this whole.
Is this a different motion than what's on here?
It was left off, so I'm putting it in.
Well, we're only up to 12.
So this is going to be 12A. I'm making a motion to increase security effective immediately in the intermediate school by having 2 more men's security guards and 2 more female security guards. And at the high school, I like to add 10 more security people, 6 being men and 4 being ladies. You need them.
Why don't you start with 4 in the high school? See how
Can I say this? Mr. Fink has a valid point.
You need this.
We need to
You
increase
need this
security, but in all due respect, aren't there professionals, not the lawyer, who is supposed to tell you what your security needs are?
Well,
I think you're right. I said this tonight, but
I'm making a motion to have it done effective immediately.
Why don't you make the motion to have security increase as per the recommendation of the superintendent and the assistant superintendent to meet their needs, to satisfy their needs? Is that good enough? We can't just throw out an arbitrary number. We don't know.
Well, I spoke to the officer. The officer told me.
The officer.
Can I get it right? I don't know if he's working right now.
Just make a motion to increase the security.
Let's increase the security, please. It's important.
So are you okay with that motion? To increase it as per the needs and recommendation of the superintendent and the assistant superintendent, to be determined before.
Oh, you throwing the number in?
Second, you need a second.
That's why you need the president or the vice president here.
She's the acting president. They're the chair. We need. Okay, so vote on everything.
There's no need. It needs more this than this has to be done now. If you don't pass it, nothing is done. That's it.
I agree with Mr. Fink that there is an emergent need, but we need to have a professional give us the numbers.
Why don't we change it and say not to exceed?
Fine.
Or not to exceed 4%. Madam President, there is modifying.
Why don't you write not to exceed 4 and 4, and for now, and then if we need more, we'll get more.
That's fine. Then do it. Then we pass it. Then pass it.
But what about, shall we say, provided funds are available or not?
It's funds available.
Through the chair, I agree with I mean, the security is not the only thing. There's a combination of technology and manpower that I feel the superintendent will review and make recommendations to the board. To just sit here and to react to something that is, and just propose numbers without 4 here and 4 here without any recommendation of anyone.
This is what we're doing now with this stuff here. Some of this stuff doesn't even has questions and blanks and X's and O's. What's the thought that is put into this?
You need to do
What's the
this.
difference?
It's the right thing
What's the
to
difference?
do.
You just said.
That's cool. We have the motions, we have the second.
It doesn't make sense.
Those are numbers that we are, wait, Tracy, those are numbers that we're determined, we just don't know them. They are there.
That's what
This is more arbitrary numbers. Go call it.
I have to call this motion, I have to call this whole thing, please. We have a motion on the floor regarding this.
Okay.
And
So
let's.
we're voting on Carl's motion and we're voting on 7 through 12. Yes, that's what I was told, as amended.
I make
Mr. Fink?
to approve.
8 is
Yes.
removed. 8 is removed.
Ms. Vecchio?
I will vote no on everything after 8. And I abstain on number 7. Okay? So I vote, and we voted on the 3. I will vote on 4 and 5 and 6. We did 3 before.
Yes, we did 4, 5, and 6 before as well.
Okay, all right. So
No,
now
we didn't do 6. 6 is counted in.
I'm sorry.
number 5 is, I think, is sort of in joke or in fun, or I don't know.
Ms. Vecchio.
How about 6? Are you voting yes on 6?
I'm voting no on 6, I'm abstaining on 7, and vote no on everything else. I'm not saying that they're invalid, some of them, but they're,
Mr.
by
Seidel?
my estimation,
Yes.
voting no.
Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Slotkin?
Which one did they vote on?
Mr. Slotkin?
No on the rest of the
6 to 12?
No.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Mr. Slotkin?
Yes, adjourn the meeting, please.
Agreed.
We didn't hear Mrs. Lockwood's vote.
Did I just hear that the security voted no on?
Well, I voted no on everything else. If you want to take security separate, you should security separate.
It's over. It's over. It's going there. It's over. You can't pass it by 5 votes. Can't pass anything. Can't pass anything by 5 votes. You need 5 votes to pass it. Come on.
by Ms. Silver, seconded by Nicchio.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody in agreement?